And Bitcoin has been in the news quite a bit over the last few days as the prices have really come down. Now, I'm the first to tell you, I don't own any Bitcoin. I don't understand it. Doesn't mean anything, but this is a story about Bitcoin, but in terms of like what you should be expecting from a real estate agent, whether they're helping you sell a home or buy a home. I recently had a sale that involved Bitcoin. The buyers needed to wait to sell some Bitcoin for whatever reason, again, doesn't matter. And the only way that, but they loved the house that I was selling. And so they wanted to do an extended close. And the Texas contracts, it's very tricky in terms of earnest money. It's usually not a tremendous amount of money that's involved there. Nobody wants to get involved in a legal dispute. So what happened is that I talked to the seller. And I said, the only thing that we've used previously is we've just asked a buyer to release a large number of earnest money to the seller at the end of the option period, right? And me personally, I think that that's reasonable. And so the seller said, yeah, I'd be willing to take that risk then if I was able to get that money up front, as opposed to having it stay with the title company. And so we brought this up to the buyer, and fortunately, to their credit, the buyers had a great real estate agent who was also working with them, who didn't have like a knee-jerk reaction of being overly negative about this. Remember, my job is to help facilitate transactions. It's not to really make decisions for people. And what I noticed is, as I told this story to a few other real estate brokers about some of the, because unfortunately there's not a really easy way to do this within our contracts. And many of them, they would tell me, well, I would never let my client do that. I would never let them do that. And I thought, that really is a bad attitude to have. And you as a consumer, when you're hiring somebody to facilitate these transactions for, some of the mundane things, yes, I'm just making the decisions, but things like this, you really don't want your real estate broker making those decisions. You want to be presented with the options, and then you're a grown-up, you're an adult, right? You can make those decisions for yourself. And I would have been perfectly fine if the seller didn't want to do this. I'd been perfectly fine if the buyer didn't want to do this. But at the end of the day, we put the deal together and everybody's happy. The seller's happy. The buyer's got an incredible home, like one of my favorite homes that I've ever sold. And so it worked out for everybody, but it never would have if one of the agents involved in this transaction was making the decision on behalf of their client.